Hey everybody, Adam here for True North Wilds, and this is the September unboxing of the Mystery Tackle Box Elite Bass Box. MysteryTackleBox.com if you want to check them out. They have the Elite size, they have the Pro size, and then they have the size down from that, I forget what it's called. Bass, walleye, multi-species, a variety of different options to choose from. So if you like what you see in these videos, I encourage you to go give them a look. This box in particular, the Elite Box, I wasn't a fan of it from the start. I took a break. I got a few of them. Wasn't really a fan of the value I was getting. Took a break, let them sort of get the process streamlined a little bit, let them sort of figure things out. I've been getting it now for a majority of this year, and I've been really happy with the changes they made. I really feel like I've been getting good value out of most of them. So let's open this up and take a look. Bass fishing is kind of done for me for this year. The fishing that I'll be doing for the rest of the season is going to be walleye. In particular, the greenbacks are running here in Manitoba, and I won't be getting out for bass again until next spring, unfortunately. But it doesn't hurt to build up an arsenal. I still like getting these boxes and seeing the different lures that they include and what all they come up with. So, that being said, while I'm opening this up, don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/TrueNorthWilds, on Instagram @TrueNorthWilds, and of course our blog site, TrueNorthWilds.com. So this box looks pretty packed. Of course we got the What's in the Box card, 3 of them. I kind of doubt I'm getting triple of everything, but 3 What's in the Box cards, and they are all bass cards, so that just, somebody tossed those in by accident. It's a pretty packed full box, I will say that. So, diving right in here, we have the Arbogast jitterbug. This is cool, not only just the lure, but I have a story about this in a second. So, what I like about this lure, without even knowing anything about it, is that my wife's grandpa had a tackle box. He fished all of his life. He passed at, I don't know how old he was in his late 80s, I think. But either way, he fished for his entire life. So, you know, 60, 70, 80, whatever amount of years fishing. His tackle box, like many old-timers tackle boxes, my grandpa's was the same, had just a few lures in it. Very, very few. There was not this variety. They had a couple lures that you could tell were their go-tos because there was not even any paint left on them. They're beaten up, they're chewed up, but they were built solidly and they worked. This was one of the ones that was in my wife's grandpa's tackle box when she got it. This jitterbug from Arbogast. It looks exactly the same. This is no different than the one we found in his tackle box. I have no idea how old that one was, but it was old. And it's the exact same. This one is just shinier. That one was beaten up. The paint was chipped off. So that's really cool just to get a new version of that, to see that there's still, it's a classic lure and it lasts and it obviously worked and they're still putting them out there. So it's really cool to get that. So it's a topwater popper. As you can see, it's got this big metal front popper fin on it. The eyelet is nice metal. The hooks are screwed on with these metal clamp things, which is cool. It's just, you don't see this in a lot of lures, modern lures. So this really has that vintage retro look. It's just a really cool thing to get. I like that. Next up we have Booyah Bait Co. from Bankroll. Oh, Booyah Bait Co. is the brand name, and then it is called the Bankroll Jig. So it's blue, black. It does not say a weight. Oh, 3/8 ounce. It does say a weight, I just need to actually look. So 3/8 ounce, which is a good size. Nicely packaged. Sort of a standard skirted jig. It's got the weed guard. Not too stiff. Nice black weed guard on there. Nice skirting. It's mostly black. It's got blue sparkles in the black skirting. The jig head itself is black with blue sparkles, and then it's just got the splash of blue skirting on the front. So overall, it's a nice skirted jig head. It's got the eyelet here, and then it sits flat. So it's perfectly flat on the bottom, so it would sit upright. So for balancing it along the bottom, you'd have a crawfish plastic on here for bass, or I generally don't use skirted jigs for walleye, but I might actually, with the flat bottom like that, it would actually work well with a worm or a leech. Would probably attract some walleye, and the skirting would just draw some attention to it. So that's interesting. It's definitely something that I'll give a try to. Nothing wrong with that. Z-Man, have you tried the Ned rig? Question mark. Interesting. So this is Z-Man Green Pumpkin TRD crawz. I like Z-Man plastics. I get a lot of them. It's one of the, if I was to have a criticism right now, it would be that I get tons of Z-Man plastics. It would be nice to get a little bit more variety, but that being said, most of the Z-Man ones that I do get are different. So I am getting tons of Z-Man, but they're all generally different. No scent on this one. And they're just sort of a nice little smallish craw plastic. Perfect size for me for smallmouth bass. I actually like these. I like these size, this size of smaller plastic. It doesn't, it's 2.5 inch rather than the big chunky ones that for me, I don't have largemouth bass here, I have smallmouth bass, and they tend to go for a little bit of the smaller size baits. So I really like that. Z-Man plastics are always super stretchy, super durable. I mean, it's really hard to wreck these. This is a 2.5 inch plastic that will stretch out probably to 12 inches if I really push it before it rips. So nothing wrong with that. It's a nice color. It's just that nice olive greenish, brownish sort of neutral sort of color. That'll be a good smallmouth bass bait in the spring. Bagley Balsa Wake 1. MTB exclusive color. Bagley, of course, is a classic lure company, so you know that there are quality. It's an interesting diving bill on this one. It's very angled, almost straight down, and then the profile of the bait is this really exaggerated curve. Nice big fat belly. I like the color on this. I really like purple lures. They work really well around here on everything. This is a color and pattern that I would catch bass, smallmouth bass. Might get some walleye when they're aggressively feeding, and definitely I will get pike on this. So good sort of all-around lure. Does not say what it dives down to. Oh, this lure is designed to swim slightly below surface, creating a bulging water disturbance during retrieve. Square swimming lip helps it deflect off structures, etc., etc. So 0 to 1 foot deep. So probably not for walleye. They won't generally be at the surface. So that's kind of an interesting surface-ish lure. I'm looking forward to giving that a try. I think that'll work well for smallmouth bass. Pike definitely will go after this. I imagine that this big square bill with that steep angle will make quite the bulge in the water, like they say. No rattle in it, but I imagine that big bulge of water would draw enough attention. Okay, what is this? Big Bite Baits. The Buzzing Warmouth. Interesting. It looks... it's shaped like a surface frog, if you kind of think like a plastic surface frog, but it's actually a fish profile. So there's a fish eye, it's got the fins molded in. This is actually meant to be the tail. It's got these two little paddle tails. I don't know what to say about that. I've never fished anything quite like that. Very interesting. It says fish T-side up, and I'm assuming they mean there is a T sort of molded into the plastic on this side. So if you're fishing that side up, then this would sit flat, similar to a surface frog. And I imagine it's meant to mimic a dead fish. It doesn't really say anything about it, so I can only assume, it's got a little bit of weight, so I assume it sinks. I can only assume that it sits flat like that, and then flutters down, and you probably fish it sort of up and down. And yeah, that's really interesting. If I am correct about how that works, and if anybody knows, as always, correct me in the comments. I imagine that would sit that way, and I imagine this would actually do a really good impression of a dying fish. So it's the right color for, you know, a dead sort of bait fish. It's got a bit of a scent to it. I don't really know what else to say about that. I've never had anything quite like that, so that'll be really interesting to try. I might use that vertical jigging. I might give that a try for walleye or through the ice when I'm going after stuff through the ice. Because if it's just fluttering on its side, that might work well for vertically jigging. That'll be an interesting one to try out. Okay, this is a big pack. So this is a cool pack that comes with, so it's from Perfection Lures, 6.5 inch pre-rigged neko. I am not going to open this up at the moment because there's a lot of moving stuff in here. So I'll show you the package though. So you got all these 6.5 inch nice neutral brown colored worms. They got a little bit of a flared out tail. It comes with extra hooks, also packaged here. It shows you a diagram here of how to rig everything. And it comes with these rings, these split rings on the worms already. Which you, for wacky rigging, so you put your hook through that and it helps keep it on the bait. The hook on the bottom is a weedless hook, bonus weedless hook. That's pretty cool. Oh, and they're weighted. It has nail weights already pre-inserted into these worms as well. So all you do is, oh, and then this one top hook is already wacky rigged into this particular worm. So that's really an interesting package. I like the idea of this. Just it's set up, it's ready to go. It shows you how it's set up so that you can carry on once you're done with the first one. If you need to set it up again, everything is right here that you need, and as well as the diagram explaining how it's done. And then on the back here, it gives you some instructions on rigging. It gives you some instructions on how to retrieve it, how to fish it, and it even gives a nice little environmental message here about catch and release and keeping your limit and such. I love this. I think this is an awesome package. Mystery Tackle Box. I want more stuff like this. This is really, really cool. Green pumpkin is the color, by the way. Tournament grade. Yeah, I mean, that is for somebody who is getting a subscription box like this. They want a variety of stuff, and a lot of times it's going to be people that aren't sure what to fish or what to try, or new fishers that they haven't built up a good collection yet, or they don't know what exactly works where yet, or how to rig certain things. Something like this is exactly why somebody like that would get a box. It's direct, super convenient. It's nice. It looks like good, nice quality stuff, and it's a tried and tested rig. So this is, I might actually leave this packaged and use this as a gift for somebody getting into fishing. This is great. I absolutely love this. By far, I can already tell this is going to be my absolute favorite thing in the box. Really cool. Good job, Mr. Tackle Box. And Perfection Lures for putting the package together, obviously. Moving on. Lunkerhunt Yappa Frog. Of course, most bass boxes, you need some surface frogs, which I like because I also use them for pike. Because around here, as I mention often, I don't have largemouth bass. I have smallmouth bass, which aren't big on surface feeding, but I have pike, which are definitely big on surface feeding. So this is, this is a surface frog popper, all plastic, or all soft plastic, I should say. So it's got that nice popping fin. I don't know what the popper part is actually called. And then it's just this nice surface frog. It's got the streamers, it's got the standard, double hook, nice soft body. It's all black with red eyes, which is kind of cool. So in really clear water, when all you need is that nice dark silhouette to draw them up to the surface, that's what you'll go for, a dark color like that. You'll get the frog leg action of the streamers, but you'll also get the popping action. So pretty neat. I like it. The Yappa frog. Lunkerhunt, quality stuff. You know, Lunkerhunt makes good stuff, so definitely nothing wrong with that. I will definitely, again, in the spring is when I'll be able to use that. Unfortunately, I can't fish for much else other than walleye until then. Another Z-Man product, the SlingBladeZ, designed by Bagley Pro Luke Clausen. No idea who that is. Half ounce, featuring live wire StabiliTrack design. The color is spot remover. Okay. Open this up, let's take a look. So it's a nice spinner, nice blade spinner. It's got the long, narrow blade at the back. I should really learn what the different styles of blades are called. I know some of the names of them, I just don't know what they actually apply to. So it's got this other smaller gold colored blade here. The color of the jig head part of it, it's pretty nice. It's sort of this dark on top, light on the bottom. It's got a nice splash of chartreuse through the belly. And then the skirting. Skirting is a little bit more sparse than what I'm used to seeing on this style of spinner. I'm sure that's by design. It's got the hook, the bait hook part here for keeping your plastic on there or your bait on there. So this would be a spinner with this more sparse and lightly colored skirting. The emphasis would be more on what you use as a trailer on here. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not a bad thing. That is actually a good thing. It's good to have ones like that you can do that. The colors of it are really nice. It's just a nice, same thing. It's got some dark checkered ones on top. It's got the chartreuse line that kind of carries in line with the belly, and then the rest of the skirting is sort of this white, translucent white with different colored sparkles and stuff in it. Overall, pretty nice. I don't use as many spinners as I would like to use. I'm trying to try more of them. This is awesome pike lure for me. So again, going into the spring, I'm building up a little bit more of a collection of spinners of this style, so I'm looking forward to catching. You can get some really big pike around here on this style of lure, so that's what I'm looking forward to working on in the spring. So that'll be really good for that collection. Last up, BioSpawn by Catchco, so one of the Mystery Tackle Box's brands. This is the ExoRibbon 7-inch with BioScent. Jointed. Disclaimer, baits don't actually have genes. It's not actually... Oh, I'm disappointed. I thought it was actually genetically modified. Ooh, that is a strong smell. So they are definitely scented. I'm gonna get it all over my hands now. Really nice color on these. This is the 7-inch worm. It's got this segmented style of body and then this long ribbon tail with a twist at the end. I love the style. Bass, walleye, pike, everything around here will go after this style of plastic. So that's nice. It's a good multi-species lure. Chunky plastic is not super stretchy, but it feels tough. If you squeeze it, it's firm. It looks like the ribbon tail is salt impregnated, so that'll add a little bit to the... Yep, definitely salt impregnated all the way through. So when they latch on, they'll hold on that little bit extra. And then the color on this is just really nice. That orange, almost red, rusty sort of colored bottom part with the dark black on top. Nothing really for sparkle in here. It's just a nice two-tone plastic. So this will be something that I throw in clearer water when I want that more neutral color, but then that little bit of bright orange on the bottom I think will really help to draw things in. Red colored or reddish colored worms around here work typically pretty good for walleye. So that'll be interesting. This style of worm typically works for a multiple application. So like I said, pike and bass and walleye, but walleye in particular around here on this style of worm like that reddish color. So this will probably be a walleye lure for me as opposed to a bass lure, but nothing wrong with that. Definitely a strong scent on that. I'm gonna close that up. I don't know. It's a chemical fruity sort of smell. It's not a gross smell. It's just very strong. That's it for the box. Of course, we got the sticker. I always like their stickers. They have pretty good designs every month. That was a packed full box. That was a packed full box for sure. I'm pretty happy with this box. I have a number of things here that I can use for multiple species, which is good for me because I don't have bass fishing now until spring. So some of these I might still be able to use for some walleye fishing. Like I said, I still might be able to vertically jig this fluttering dead fish through the ice. Maybe get some nice big jack through the ice. That would be cool. But overall, really nice lures. And again, I absolutely love this pre-packaged, pre-rigged, really informative pack of these worms here from Perfection Lures. This is by far my favorite thing in the box. Really great idea. As I said, I'm going to use this probably as a gift to somebody because it's perfect for a new fisher or somebody who's new to fishing this style of lures or who wants to try something different. So definitely happy with that all around. Great box again from Mystery Tackle Box. You can check them out, mysterytacklebox.com if you haven't already. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/TrueNorthWilds, on Instagram @TrueNorthWilds, and of course our blog site, TrueNorthWilds.com. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the box. Let me know if you guys agree with me about this package in particular. I'm curious what everybody else's thoughts are on this. I love it, and I'm curious to hear if anybody has used ones like this or knows of other packages like this with maybe different styles of baits. So leave a comment down below and let me know about that. Yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you outside.